It's Thursday. It's like 21 degrees here in Nashville. And I don't know who can relate to this, but it is hard to have motivation when it's cold out. I'm sore from this week. Work's been crazy this week, super busy. But this is where discipline comes in. And every Thursday I do legs if it's 21 degrees out or if it's 100 degrees out. So I understand it's hard. I understand you don't want to do it, but whatever happens the rest of the day, it's still 21 degrees out, and I still did a leg day. I still got my workout done, and I still got to grow these legs, and I'll just feel better. And it's just telling yourself that you can do it. So this week is 1 year, not a sip of alcohol. And I probably drank every weekend from 20 or 21 until 36. So for 16 or 17 years straight. Not saying I was blasted every weekend, but I was definitely having beers or some sort of alcohol every weekend. And I wanted to become the next version of myself and get in shape and get mentally fit, so I dropped it cold turkey and I haven't had a sip in a year. But alcohol for 1 year. So many positive things came out of it. First of all, sleep. I'd say sleep and anxiety, which go hand in hand. So I definitely sleep a lot better. I dream way more. I don't have anxiety. As I've gotten older, the more and more I drank, the more anxious I became. And the hangovers, I'd be okay in the moment, I'd have such a good time, but in the morning, I wake up, I don't feel okay, but by 2 or 3 the next day, I would just be so anxious, I'd feel like such a loser, I'd be like, what am I doing with my life? And then by the next day or the day after, 24, 48 hours, it'd take me a while to get through that anxiety. I'd start to feel better. And then the next day I would have a drink or start drinking again. And the cycle would repeat over and over and over. And then you're basically drinking because you have anxiety, because it kills the anxiety, but then you have anxiety because of it. So I got super into fitness and I just wanted a huge change in my life. So I can't really moderate a lot of things. So it's either all or nothing. So I just said, for 17 years straight, I drank. What would I feel like? What would I do every weekend? Who would I hang out with? How would I feel? What if I got rid of that anxiety? So, kind of decided that cold turkey, I would just stop. So, the first 2 weeks or something is tough. Maybe even the first month, but like anything, then you get used to not drinking. So another thing I've really learned without drinking is I have a ton more energy. Energy for discipline to work out harder in the gym. Energy to think about where I'm going and where I've been. Energy when I'm hanging out with friends or traveling or family. My energy levels for sure are way higher. So if you struggle or if you're struggling with energy and motivation and discipline, cut out all of it. Cut out the porn, cut out the alcohol, cut out the smoking, cut out the processed foods, cut out the sugar. What's worst case? You learn something new about yourself and then you can reintroduce things slowly as you come to terms with them. But drinking is so common, it's so social. And I think the next generation is not drinking as much, but having more energy in your life is just so much better. So, give it a try. So another thing I think a lot of people don't consider or talk about when it comes to drinking is the financial aspect of it. I mean, I moved to Nashville 3 years ago now, and you go on Broadway, you're spending at least $10, $12 per beer. I'd say $15 to $20 per drink. You know, after drinking X amount of years, you can take down, I mean, in an afternoon or night, 7 to 10 drinks. So you're spending hundreds of dollars every weekend. So I started working for myself. I wanted to feel better. So cutting out drinking not only helps my energy, recovery, sleep, but it helps me a lot financially. So if you're struggling or you're living paycheck to paycheck, why are you buying booze? It's doing nothing for you, really. I mean, that could be a cool car payment. That could be, you know, save up for 2-3 months. You could go on a trip. You could buy car parts, in my sense, buy better food. So it's not the fact that you're maybe not making enough money. You're just blowing $7,000 to $10,000 a year. And I understand there's a fun aspect of it, and we'll get into that in a minute, because drinking is fun. There's a lot of cool, fun things to do and be with, but the downsides outweigh the upsides for sure. And especially as I've gotten older, I've just realized that there had to be an end point, and if nothing else, you save $7,000 to $10,000 a year. Let's talk about recovery too in drinking. I would spend, you know, whatever, hour and a half in the gym every day, all week. And then Friday, Saturday, not so much, Friday, Saturday, have a couple drinks, go out, have a good time. So all the progress from like Thursday, Friday on, I had terrible sleep. My muscles were dehydrated. They can't recover. Your body doesn't hold on to protein like it does when you're not drinking. So if you're any bit into fitness and you're drinking pretty often, and everyone's gonna say, or I've said, everything in moderation, but it's very hard to moderate drinking, especially when you have a few drinks. You end up having 1, 2, 3, then you have an accidental shot or two, and then it's 12, you're going to bed, or you get home and you eat drunk munchies and have that pizza with your boy or stop at McDonald's, and then you go to bed at 2 in the morning, and even if you sleep in, you have trash sleep, trash nutrition, and all that liquor has to go through your system, your liver has to your liver has to digest all of that. You wake up feeling like shit. At some point, enough is enough, and I definitely don't regret stopping drinking. Another good that came out of stopping drinking was self-respect. And, you know, working out and fitness and eating right is a big part of it, but what you do when you're under the influence, or what you're putting in your body when you're working so hard to look or feel or be healthy is two different things. So I've learned a lot about self-respect, and respecting my body, and respecting my future, and respecting where I want to go. And for me, I don't think alcohol was going to get me there. So that's something I never would even considered or thought about when I was drinking, but now that I've stopped, I think I've gained a lot of self-respect because of it. But yeah, I want to talk about some downsides to drinking, because something that you do so often, you don't really think about it. Okay, here are all the upsides. Yeah, feel great, look great, got bigger, sleep better, not anxious, I'm gonna eat better, great, all sounds good. Okay, for 15 years or 17 years straight, like, what do you do on the weekends if you don't go out? Oh yeah, you can go out sober and have just as much fun. Not for me. I definitely still go out, definitely hang out with friends, but it's not the same. I think about life on frequencies a lot. Drinking with a buddy or a girl or whatever puts you on the same frequency. That's why bars are surrounded with a bunch of people that drink. When you're not on the same frequency, and a few drinks, I'm talking about going out for the night or whatever, you're not on the same frequency as everyone else. You don't have the stamina, you don't have the excitement, you don't want to be out late, you don't want to be in a packed room, but that brings a lot of fun too, because when you stop drinking, Fridays look a whole lot different. I'm chilling either by myself or going to my boy's house or doing something different, but you're not around as many people. The friends that you had are definitely still your friends, but that's something you have in common with everyone. Oh, Friday night, let's go grab dinner and then go out to X, Y, and Z. There's always gonna be laughs, there's gonna be something funny that happens, but if you don't wanna go out or you're tired after a long week, what do? You find yourself, you stay at home. So I think a downside is everyone loves drinking for the social aspect of it, and that's the majority of it, but it numbs you, so the social aspect is easier. Go out sober and try to talk to a bunch of drunk people. It's not the same, you're on the same frequency. So that's definitely one of the biggest downsides is you don't really know what to do because that's what you've done for so long. I think boredom. That's another huge reason I drank all the time. If you've ever chilled in a garage or chilled with some buddies, you have a couple beers or a couple high noons or whatever, it like gets rid of boredom altogether. All of a sudden you're laughing, having a good time. So something again I've always worked on is having time. And then having time and then you cut away the amount of time you give to alcohol. Boredom is very real and very true. So you can always look, oh, what am I gonna do Friday night? Oh, I'm gonna go hang out with a bunch of homies, go out that night. Saturday, oh, let's go to this rooftop bar, let's go grab a couple beers and tacos and whatever. But when you don't have the alcohol, you sit in your boredom and you really find yourself. So I've really found a lot of things I enjoy. Go cruise my car, come to the gym, go for a walk, go chill with my buddy, take his dog for a walk. You end up go swimming. You end up finding things to replace it and then finding new people and new friends that do different things. So for me, at first, especially in the first month, let's say, I would get really bored on the weekends, but you have to be proactive and say, okay, I'm cutting this out, but don't just cut it out, replace it with other things. Thankfully, I got my FD here. I go for a cruise, or go wash my car, or we go barbecue, or I got a bunch of boys with boats now, so you've been going out there with boats. So you end up finding a lot more things. So kind of a negative is boredom, but then you turn it into a positive of finding a lot of new things and better things to do. So if you've been thinking about the boredom aspect of it, super common. Don't cut it out, replace it.